What's up, you guys? This is Jason. I am going to give you a quick tutorial today on how to not sound like you suck at music theory. This is very handy for myself because I do suck at music theory. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is on this MIDI track, I'm going to Command-Shift-M and just make a new MIDI region. I'm going to input all of the white notes. So this is just a C major scale. Tight. All right, now we have, actually that was too many of them. So I'm going to copy this up a couple of octaves. And now we have 3 octaves of the C major scale. Now we're going to go to the MIDI effects, and I'm going to use this scale plugin. And I'm going to go down to the C minor. It's the second saddest of all keys, next to D minor. Oh, stupid. I'm so sorry, you guys. But anyway, we have the C minor on here. So if I add a piano to this track, let's go, Here we go, grand piano. I'm going to arm it, and I am actually going to turn off this plugin. So without it, that's a C major scale all the way up, just all the white keys, super easy. But if I turn on the scale plugin now, still sounds kind of happy, but that's the C minor scale. So that's awesome. But when we look at our notes, there's still all the white keys, right? So we want to know what we're doing. So what we're going to go ahead and do is set in and go get the input from the grand piano track. I'm going to arm this one. I'm going to turn this one off so I don't have to listen to it, and record that. Awesome. So now we have our notes recorded in, and with the black keys in there too. So we have our minor scale printed onto this MIDI track. So that's pretty cool. So if I go here, right, and I just move this up to past that clump of notes, I can right-click this play or start point and set 1-1 here. So now this is outside of our region. So like if I were to loop this, then we wouldn't hear that big clump of notes. That's pretty tight too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I can actually just Command A, select all, and I'm going to fold. So by folding this region, we can clearly see the notes of the scale. And since I suck at music theory, I can just do this and build out chords every other note. And I'll copy this a few times. And what you can do is we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 5, 6, 4 is like a common pop progression. 6, 4, and I'll just take these top notes here, and I'm going to hold Shift and go down. So now we have a chord progression. The one thing I would be aware of is like these notes, maybe not that one, but like G and G sharp are pretty close together, so that might sound pretty dissonant. So I'm going to mute that one by pressing 0. And now if I were to put a grand piano onto this MIDI track, we have a chord progression. Awesome. Now I'm going to duplicate this. And by the way, I turned this off because when I first, it was getting auto input from this MIDI track, and we don't want that, so I turned it off. So if I don't want to have to worry about that, I can set it to no input, and then it can be on auto or whatever, but it doesn't matter. So now we have this, so you can duplicate that track, and then now we know we have C, and then we have G, and then A, I believe, or G sharp, and then F. So those are our notes. So if we take these guys, we mute them. So we have the notes. We can see the notes that are in the scale. And then I'm just going to mute these guys. So that's our 1, 5, 6, 4. Now I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to go down a couple octaves. So that's, you know, how you would make your bass. And then you can duplicate it again. And then you can just swap all these sounds out later, right? So now we have all of these notes. And we're going to want to move this up a couple octaves again. So this one. So now you're going to want to build your melody out of this guy, you know, so you can see what notes are in the chord, you know. So you can basically build your melody off of that chord. And you're not limited to the notes that are in the chord. You can use like the middle notes, and that actually helps you lead into the next chord. So basically this is just an easy way for you to be able to visually, you know, make it easier for yourself to write chord progressions that work, and stick to the scale when you're writing melodies, and write your melodies to work over the chords in your chord progression. And that's what I think is going to set a lot of you guys apart from the next guy is, you know, whereas some people just kind of wing it, you know, what will take your pop productions to the next level is using chord progressions that actually work, and melodies that work with them. And you can just repeat this process, like of building out the chords to make B sections and C sections of your songs. So making a bridge or going from a verse to a chorus doesn't sound, you know, it's not like all flat, you know, the whole way through the song. You're able to make changes and stuff and sound like you know what you're doing from a theory standpoint. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. But let me know what you think. If this was a stupid tip, you've heard this a million times, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually, because there's probably people that haven't heard this before. But if you got something out of it, I really encourage you to like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, because it really helps the channel a lot. If you have any suggestions of what we should cover in any of the upcoming videos, let us know. If there's anything Ableton specific, feel free to shoot me an email or message. I think that'll be listed with the video. And yeah, let me know what you think.